Need to articulate the good.
Yeah.
I will quote Fifth Element and say that time is not important, only life is important.
Time not important, only life important.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
Miss, multipass.
I do believe that this consciousness is sort of like a meat popsicle, as Bruce Willis in The Fifth Element called it.
Sir, are you classified as human?
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
Chad just got an elliptical. Chad, get in here. I'll show you what's up. Show you how it's done.
Fifth Element and the gal that's playing in Fifth Element, I would have the same. So I had this tendency to be able to be captured by the stories or the performances, and I think there's something similar to that. If I'm watching a movie or a film and I'm immersed in the story, that's a flow state too.
But life is time. Your life is made up of the time you have. That's all it is.
You see, Father, by creating a little destruction,
A cherry.
I'm in fact encouraging life.
You're a monster, Zook. I know.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender.
Why don't you take this opportunity to answer that in the Hive Mind chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay? What do you want to exist even if you don't? And how much of a difference do you make to it?
Wind blows. Fire burns.
There are some things, very nice things worth saving.
Like love.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Because I love you.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at.
And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
In all our searching, the only thing we've found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other.
Welcome to the Grimgris Show. The Grimgris Show on the Grimgris channel on the YouTubes. This is the Amish Lentbreaker episode. Reaper Harvest. I am the Amish Lentbreaker. This episode I've been live streaming on the Lent. I broke it yesterday in this horrible display of Beetlejuice. And as such, I figured I might as well do the Reaper's Harvest, and then I ended up not doing it until now. But now we're doing it. The Reaper's Harvest. It's supposed to be on Fridays, but that's where we go through over on the Broken Clock Tower Discord what the hive mind has brought to us to show to you in what is known as a manifestation of a thing I call the Beholder. We'll get into that, but I guess you deserve your savings throws first, and I'm not giving you those until after this. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature there. Yeah, McMo. That's it, though. As far as atmospheric management, that's a powerful tool. Speaking of powerful tools, we give you savings throws against mind control, because you swim in it everywhere you go. You get to pick survival, social, wisdom, or heart, and I roll. And if it's over 10, you take half damage. You've made it. If it's over 10, you've done it. You've made the savings throw. You take half damage from the mind control that follows the rest of the show and the rest of your day. If it's under 10, you're taking full damage, but at least you know you are. And wouldn't you want to know? If you were operating under mind control, wouldn't you want to know? Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Every time in my mind I say choose, it plays that scene from The Last Crusade where he says, and choose why. Anyway, survivalist today, you're going to need your bonuses. But that's not survivalist. Those are survivalists. Survivalists are fine. You get 15. 15 socialists. You need your bonuses. That's a 6. It's a 6 for you. We got 10. Nope. Wisdom kids coming in with the 14. The 14, you'll be fine. And there you go. The 10 is the heart one. Indigo kids with an 18. Wow, we're way off baseline.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's true. So that's, and it's lamentable because I...
Hey there, what's going on? It's a Reaper's Harvest. What's a Reaper's Harvest? Well, you know, a lot of people watch a lot of stuff, and now we started before it happened, but eventually YouTube decided clips are a good thing, and they put in a massive little clipping tool. If you want to keep the clip, if it's a really juicy one, you should still do it in OBS, because when you make the clip, people know you made the clip, and if it's a clip they don't want to show anymore, they can take measures. But if you move it into your OBS and record it, then it's yours forever. Card of the show today is brought to us by the Casino Deck and the Deuce of Hearts. Welcome. This is the Amish Lentbreaker episode that will knock that out of the title. The Amish is a reference to the current shave. The Lent breaking is I was doing a live stream Lent alongside the Ortho Bro Lent guys. Anyway, lots of Lenting. The video game one is holding. The live stream one is broken, and here we are, all virtually not alone.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
And it's a Reaper's Harvest, so the most of the show will be going through what the Reapers have brought to us and voted worthy of your time using our 7 indigo die metric system over on the Broken Clock Tower Discord. There is a link below. People are supposed to tell me when it stops working. Yada, Discord play. Okay, and we have a card for the show. It says player, character, and person. So if you want to put those in your meditative chambers and start to think about those topics to hive mind on them later, boy howdy, wouldn't that be convenient. The Reaper's Harvest is a manifestation of what we call the Beholder Project, which I spoke of in today's exciting Vervaeke Foundation grant application. You see, I decided to do what we call one of them, what was it? I made a thing, and it's on the Substack. We'll go through that too. But I need to hide behind 8 minutes of branding. So here's some. This means that the individual's psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, "What the devil has gotten into you?" We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. But so the intention is like this will be, I'll cut this part off and leave it as a video. There you go. Okay, so we're going to go over the Vervaeke Foundation grant application at some point in the show. But let's get the Reaper's harvesting started by going over to the Broken Clock Tower Discord in the Reaping Room. In the Reaping Rooms, one of the Reaping Rooms, you see, it's the Reaper's Hall. That's what it is, Grim. And in that category of rooms is the clip stream, where we find the clips that we have been brought to by the lovely Reapers we have around here. Let's see who they are. Well, what I did here is the start of next Friday's clips brings us way up to here, and they are encouraged to 7 indigo the good ones, because you need 3 7 indigos to make it on the show. This one from Ship Click got no 7 indigos. Nobody went over here and clicked this little ad reaction and then that thing. So it's not going to make the show. But oops!
Oh boy, did I mess up.
So that's a sample of some of the things you might find in the clip stream and on this, the Reaper's Harvest show, which is part of the Beholder project, explained beautifully in the latest branding from Ups.
And so Defense Against the Dark Arts, like they've been mastering how to turn you into a mindless consumer that buys what they want you to for a long, long time. But if we come together and think together and sense make together, then they'll have to up their game even more. And like, so anybody who's steering the big eye is going to get all of that.
Yes, yeah.
If we can train each other to be the eye stalks and bring it together and cognitively process it before we feed it to him, it'll up his level like by magnitudes. And like everybody gets a little bit more above water if we work together that way. I say 12 monkeys, you'll probably have enough of everything to catch what Paul is looking for and the social clues, the stuff that like Gavin would be oblivious to.
How this could be used to allow people to connect and get past the status game. Beware of practicing your piety before men in order to be seen by them, for then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven.
All right. Okay, so that wasn't really branding, but it did explain quite well what's supposed to be going on here with the Beholder project and the clip stream and the beholding of the Reaper's Harvest. Show the slide. All right, and so as such, we proceed on past that did not get any votes, but this one did 7, scoring a 7. Boots and Cats, also from Ship Clerk.
That better be you, Gavin, behind that cat, or I'm booting you out. I'll tell you that right now.
Can you hear my voice?
Oh gosh.
That time that Gavin went on as a cat on Pastor Paul's live stream. That clip itself, I'm going to do like this is deep Discord lurker thing. I'm going to copy a clean link of the clean link. Copy the message link and move it down into the resonance hall, into the social memory complex section, so we can never forget. And in that section, we have such things as the Meeting Moishi stream. Remember these cats? Anyway, back up to the work. Now you got to play more branding. Son of a... Remember it.
This agency. We want.
And hello to Perry out there in the hive mind. Good to see you, Kim. And Franco says, "Oh, this was happening. Still is." Tom says, "Still is." Tom reminds me of a friendly hobbit. I don't know what exactly that avatar is, but it's like seeing Samwise Gamgee. Every time I see his profile icon there, it's enheartening. What? Shh. All right, and next up, scoring 3 is a World War III clip that was removed, but rescued because I seen it and found it and clipped it out. Where is it? There it is. Here's what was clipped and given to the stream and then removed from the internets.
Nigga, we are in war right now. 50% of black deaths is abortion. We kill ourselves. That's psychological warfare. We don't buy no land. We doped out, we fried out. Everything that we promote is about the destruction of what we're doing. We are at war. Don't think World War III is that. You know who told me? The fucking trainer told me that. Harley. Why he told me that? Because he thought I was a monkey. He thought I wouldn't understand what he was saying. He thought he was talking to a chimpanzee because he an MK Ultra educated person and I'm a college dropout that dedicated my life to art and music. But there's some kind of gut, sight beyond sight. There's leaders, chiefs, kings. Why do you think so many rappers be called kings? They call kings because they are truly that, but our kingdom has been sold by contracts.
Perhaps you should get yourself some defense against the dark arts if you're in a world war, I suppose. Okay. Tom says he has hairy feet too. Yeah. Hey, good to see you, Chris. Okay, and then now we go all the way back to where we were, since we had to do that one special, and we get to, Mills, nobody liked yours. That's sad. Here's a collection. Oh, only scoring 2. Sorry, ups. One for that one. Grim, it's kind of an asshole move to... Oh, what? You can't hear now? You couldn't hear that whole clip, right? Is that what it was? I don't... Why am I seeing ears? It doesn't say I'm muted. Can you not hear? What's going on? Oh dear. Oh my. We've fallen off the train.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
Thanks to the Shadow Cabals for making productions like this possible. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. Okay. I've been reassured by the hive mind that everyone can hear, and we found the next clip that did score high enough. Clint D's ability to see number one. Oh wait, you're not showing it. Show it. There it is. You see, it's got the 3. We'll give it 4. There we go.
It's an underappreciated feature of epistemology, right? How do we know that we know? And it's that basically the condition of the viewer affects their ability to see. And so this is something that I think a lot of people don't appreciate or consider. It's an underappreciated feature of...
Let's appreciate it together for a moment, shall we? That whatever state you're in is influencing the amount of good you can get out of this presentation and the effects of the mind control against the darkness within you.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
And never go full Gandalf. What? Why? What? Hey, what? Okay, tats and cardigans is an aggressive flex. Oh, no. Welcome. This is the Amish Lentbreaker Reaper's Harvest episode for the 20. What? No, you got the date wrong up there. The date's wrong in the title. It's the 23rd of March. Okay, and then we're doing a Reaper's Harvest right now. We're getting to the next big winner with 7 indigos. Makes a lot of sense. Sevilla over on the Friday morning rando with Chid.
I just have one real quick question. How did this little corner of the internet, was that just like it just came out one day and there it was?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Perfect.
Okay. So that thanks for that. That's also a history. It should probably go into thing. But for now, we'll scroll on. Past these into this one. Oh, here we go. Another one with 5. Big winner here. Big winner from the Not Estuary show number 2. Beauty and the Beast. We love because he first loved us. I kept typing even though that's all that shows.
Like, who is this guy? And like, he doesn't fit into what our box of what TLC looks like. And Paul did that on purpose to kind of say like, okay, these this isn't just the type of person that we have. We have people who are not like this. So
I wish you would do
yeah.
more of that.
Yeah. Well, I think that was what the Collinses was too, right? That's to a certain extent was like something like way out of like the normal kind of conception. But in regards back to trolls too, like I have to have my obligatory Chesterton quote, but he talks about the Beauty and the Beast, and the lesson of Beauty and the Beast is one must be loved before they become lovable. And I think that is part of the spirit that we need to embody a little bit more of, which is like the people who we don't like, the reason why, like, who is this guy?
I bet the rest of that was good. That's our very own President Fox, man. Sometimes masquerading as a kid called Noah in the top middle there. We got all sorts of superstars. There's even McMo. McMo on the left there. What an ensemble participatory television show we have here.
Are you sick and tired of being asked about the TLC? When you look at this corner, do you not even think that it's a thing? Well, if you're like me, raise your hand. Because I got what you need. You need Telos tea. That's right. Grab yourself a nice hot cup of Telos tea. Not Telos tea. It's not a thing.
Welcome. This is the Reaper's Harvest Amish Lentbreaker episode. And as teased earlier in the show, I'm going to now go over our Vervaeke Foundation grant application made today in the style of Richard Dawkins. In the style of Richard Dawkins, with a personal public letter to one Dear John Vervaeke. Dear John, ever since you came out of the closet about Hermes, well, not ever since. Well, okay, look, I don't really, if you want to read along, go to the Substack. We'll do it like this. Ever since you came out of the closet about Hermes, well, not ever since. I guess I owe you some feedback about the After Socrates series. Short version of that is to do it again with a class in front of you, even if they're never on camera. Anyway, ever since a disassociated self disrupted your internal family system by announcing its existence, and I found out about it, I wanted to talk to it more than to you. As an aside, how would a clinician apply the relevance realization model with a patient presenting with that concern? The concern that I'd rather speak to the voice in my friend's head than my friend, and I know I'm using friend loosely there. This morning, it was different. I wanted to talk to you. I'm still busking over on YouTube, and occasionally we'll get the fresh appreciation for our conversation.
On the continuum. So making use of ideas of integrating relevance realization, predictive processing, we could explain what's going on in people who are autistic, people who are psychotic, and what the variation is in between them. So that was...
does that bit have something to do with like killing what the demon brings you? The default mode network brings you?
I'm not familiar with what that means. Could you...
I get that the default mode network is what distracts you, and
yes,
and brings you like, hey, what about this? What about this? What
Oh,
about
I
this?
see. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. I would say daemon rather than demon, but okay, that's fine.
The list? Yes. Any of the...
I'm still busking over on YouTube and will occasionally get a fresh appreciation for our conversation. And I think there's a clip coming in the next Reaper's Harvest. And I ended up seeing the clip where our diaglossiologos associates the default mode network and the demonium. I don't think you got as much out of that association as it potentiates, and I essentially wanted to tweet that to you. I don't think you got as much as it potentiates, and I wanted to tweet it at you. Me being me, we ended up here instead. We'll call it my Dawkins Hershey Ali move. Okay, and then here's an image. There's an image included. Here it is. It looks like this, and then more words. Okay. This image is what the AI art slave bots over at NightCafe kicked out when I seeded it with a numeration of yesterday's date. And I put in the date as the numeric seed for the thing, but you got to talk to these fancy people with fancy words sometimes, so they get the I'm fancy reinforced while they're reading. Okay. With the numeration of yesterday's date and the phrase room of requirement. I don't know if you were ever Star Trek back in the day, but there's an episode where Picard ends up on a planet having to communicate with a fella from a species that uses myth references as a language. It's filed in my mind under Dharmak at Tanagra. Using the principle that mythologic consumption of popular stories functions similarly, I lean into pop culture subtribes to facilitate an understanding of projects. The Room of Requirement is a tie-in to the Harry Potter series, as even you should know the depth of its mimetic penetration. They made it news that people were standing in line for a book the way they do for an iPhone, after all. The setting for the Harry Potter series was a corrupt school in a corrupt world, and the Room of Requirement was a magical place the students ended up coming together and learning what they needed to survive in such a world. Defense against the dark arts. That's what I'm doing in my little pentagon in this little corner. Turns out I'm not making enough internet busker skill checks. Like I say, I'm an internet busker, and I perform, and I roll the dice, and I'm not getting enough successes on those skill check rolls to pay the bills yet. And Peugeot has been leaning into selling online courses. So we've started hammering out the syllabus for the Defense Against the Dark Arts in the Broken Clock Tower Discord. It's in the tavern, though, and somebody's going to have to go dig it up. And remember... here, just give it a minute.
It's very evolutionary, it's a ball. No, T-Rock, I can go anywhere you want in the whole realm of human knowledge. I'm happy to go there with you. Where would you like to go? Well, I'm just saying, why doesn't your position collapse into agnosticism? Or because I don't require someone to hand me a system in order to test it. I don't feel like I have to be given a system in order to test everything. I feel like I've been given everything I need, and I'm attuning that system, which is me, the instrument that I am. How about your intuitions? No, I have measurement tools. My body is enormously calibrated to measure things. And could your body measurements be anywhere wrong? You want in the whole realm of human knowledge? I'm happy to go there with you. Where would you like to go? Well, I'm just saying, why doesn't your position collapse into agnosticism? Or because I don't require someone to hand me a system in order to test it. I don't feel like I have to be given a system in order to test everything. I feel like I've been given everything I need, and I'm attuning that system, which is me, the instrument that I am. Such your intuitions. No, I have measurement tools. My body is enormously calibrated to measure things. Yeah. And could your body measurements be wrong?
You're supposed to be here and scrolling this way and then finding this. Welcome back. We're at the Amish Lentbreaker episode, Reaper's Harvest. But currently I'm in the part going over my Reiki Foundation grant application. Bear with us. We'll get back to the clips. The Hive Mind has brought us in the clip stream soon. Okay, where are we at? In remembering our default mode demonium insight, it occurred to me there's probably a definable group of practices that specifically alter the performance of the default mode network, and that I could gather a bunch of yahoos and work through those practices as a video series, Shaping Your Demonium. Remembering also that our hearts have been less than a foot apart, he gave me a hug once, and that you had your name on the foundation, totally can't find the Rockefeller connections anymore. Maybe all this would be worth bringing up to you. Someone from the foundation did meet with me once. I'm sure I already have a file. With love, Griswold Grimm, Synchrony Harmonicist. And that, therefore, is my application to the Vervaeke Foundations for a grant.
Now, what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
Now I'll check in with the Hive Mind chat right after the shanty.
We all know that there is no agency, any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Oh, hey, look, guys, the Spoon Man is in the Hive Mind. You can see if you can spot him here. All right, where were we? Had the Fancy Pants Noah telling the Beast story, and then the next big winner. Oh, that was in reference to the Kanye. Someone pulled a Pajot quote in reference to the Kanye clip. He says, "Keep watching the fool, folks. I never said follow him or agree with him. I just said wouch. Okay, and then what do we got here? Oh, 7. Noah and Neil coming up with 7 Indigos brought in by Afriel. Pilot song.
Within philosophy in general, the transcendentals, so the good, the true, and the beautiful, they're usually treated as Booleans. The good, the true, the beautiful. That this is beautiful, this is not. This is true, this is not. This is good, this is not. And my intuition is that those three things are actually floats that scale up to infinity. Within
Floats that scale up to it. Was that floats? Okay, and next, the next high scoring clip is from The Underneath by Kale Zeldin, brought to us by Mostly. I'm not calling you Pineapple anything. Your name is Mostly. And
Of heaven isn't behind a paywall. The kingdom of heaven isn't at the front of an enormous line that you don't have time or life or money or leisure to wait in. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, and is at hand for any of us. I mean, that's the amazing thing about the kingdom of heaven, that it is, again, someone made a great meme of it. They have the two lines, the line of people waiting to be loved, and then the line where you can go to love. And there's no line on that door. There's no line at that desk. Right. You have people around you right now who need to be loved, and you can love them. And that's where it starts. So I don't know.
yeah, well, I got a busk on the internet. I can't do that all the time. All right, then here from now. See, everybody's making a big deal about this Clara sociologist examiners. I've had this fella Hyun Chu watching me from Korea for like ages now. I even here this guy. He's been hanging out on the Discord watching us for ages.
That's a different thing.
No,
right?
I'm talking about microwaving something. Like, you as a human have a grip on radiation because your people have harnessed it into a machine that can cook your food.
And that's my thoughts on it. That's from the Masterful Nibsworth recursion video. It's quite fabulous. That someone named Nibs went through and timestamped a bunch of stuff. I gathered all those timestamps, and that's what that video is. But back to today's clip from the Friday Morning Nameless. What?
I admire the people who go way in, but
No, I'm not running epileptic seizure shit on my show. I don't care. Chad, fix that. Fix that. This is an epileptic seizure inducing countdown, and it's harmful to others. Okay, but here's one from Clint.
But we don't have many Thomas Jeffersons around anymore. So, but there's more people. There are influence there, but there are more. But the underground, the silent majority, the remnant. I believe in the remnant, both in a philosophic and a religious sense. When things deteriorate, there's always somebody there that's going to gather together 10, 12, 15, 200, or 500. They gather together and they talk about the real things that are important. And the remnant, I think, is much bigger than anybody ever realized. And I think when I walked into those stadiums, I don't know how many times I would say, where did these people come from? But we don't have.
Ooh, that what a little bit of what's going on here?
And survive, the ones that lose this competition, they die. As we saw earlier, cortical columns compete against one another to represent bars of light, different orientations. And then that your perceptions compete for interpretation. Is that a kind of cloud, or is it a kind of Jesus in the sky? And that things compete for your attention. And that moods compete. Is a glass half full, is it half empty? And that when you make a decision, that's like a competition, isn't it? But surely that's completely fractal. And also, on a stretch of neuron, synapses link up on a stretch of dendrite. They link up, and then dendrites link up in a cell body, and then neurons link up through synapses, and then columns link up, and then patches of cortex link up in a hierarchy. But then you chain your thoughts together into succession of thoughts and stuff, and thoughts link up.
Interlinked. We're having some clicking difficulties over here. Please bear with us as we run this. No, we did that one. It's the front, and then now we're here. And this got 4.
Was a temporary, I'll call it a respite to the spirit that was already rising. So we put, it was basically like, we're going to put this on hold. 90% of the country unites around, got to stop the terrorists. No matter what, we got to spend $3 trillion, whatever it takes to stop the terrorists. And 90% of the country united around that. We had a common spirit that took over the age, common madness, you could say. It's like you anger the American dragon and see what happens. But we are definitely out of that spirit. And we are much further, I would say, along the path of that late 90s spirit. And I'm almost done with this. I think also with the 2000s into the 2010s, especially social media age, the dream of Facebook was that, once we could all communicate, it would unite the world. Once we could all just communicate. And that was the dream of Facebook. And I'm willing to act.
The dream of the 90s and the dream of Facebook. I probably should be able to, folks, but I just can't. I just can't today. And next up, from Clint, playful mimicry reaching new heights.
New video directed by Gary Wise, centered around Chevy perfectly lip-syncing Paul's vocals and adding hilarious gestures, facial expressions, and punctuations. The story is that Chevy didn't receive the lyric sheet until just before the car ride to Lauren's studio to shoot the video. Chevy, he was such a fast study. His mimicking, it was uncanny.
It was, but that's too copyright close for my comfort. So we're bopping out of that one and going to... Oh.
I felt like the conversations were very low quality. And in my naivety, I thought that maybe I could come in and boost the quality, at least in like my little corner of the internet, to have better conversations about what was going on. And so that was my basically I felt like the conversation.
Boost the quality in your own cesspool as best you can.
I don't mind staying in my corner. I love sitting here.
We are a test tube creation. Somebody has created us, and whoever that somebody is looks like us. So they have taken those Neanderthal and the ancient hominid creatures, which the world is filled with them. We know they're there because we're finding them everywhere, but they don't look like us. So we are a special creation, which is why the Bible says in Genesis, the gods says, "Come, let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Because for being so great, it's not that great. A bunch of hairy people out there eating each other and living like animals. So let's take one of the females and procreate with her and see what comes out of a connection between the gods and...
Clint D with same lady.
Now go on. Get your ass out of here. Can he do that? Well. Now go on.
That'd be a good branding or a banning. Like you ban somebody's place and then do something like
I'm not a cat.
But would that go on? That would work. That would work. That got 3 votes. Here's one with 5.
To me, the most interesting thing about you is not whether or not you believe in the physical resurrection of Jesus. That's not the most interesting thing about you. I'm kind of interested in it. The most interesting thing about you is your story.
Yeah.
Because you are not an accumulated set of ideas of physical rearrangements that happened in the past.
Yeah.
You were born in a certain year to a group of parents, had some experiences, encountered a bunch of things, and that has developed into where you are now. And to me, the most...
And we sometimes call that your identity stack, which has an alignment, an attitude, and an orientation.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Daddy. We're going through the Reaper's Harvest, the ones voted by the participants in the Hive Mind Discord with at least 3 7 indigos or more clips brought to us by each other in this attempt to cognitively meditate, bring the good stuff, yada yada, show and tell.
It's like the version of religion and the version of science that we end up seeing out there in the world are like the equivalent of Trump and Biden. There's a polarization that has to happen when the primary locus is the conflict between the two, competing for hearts and minds in a field of debate, and a field of conflict, not a field of dialogos. It's like the version of religion.
I don't disagree with any of that, actually, Jordan. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Next. Oh, and now we've made it to the end. The end. We're now starting the next week ones, except I haven't said next week ones, and this one's already got over 3.
Also have to be able to do this when it's appropriate, and that's contemplation.
Wow, this got weird.
Also have to be able to do this when it's appropriate, and that's contemplation.
This got weird.
Also have to be able to do...
Way. And you guys can have a +4 for that one earlier. That was fine. You can find. We now put in the message. Next harvest below this line. And we see if we can do it again next week. If you have feedback on this presentation or how to make it better, you can put that somewhere in the Discord and we'll find it. That was me putting below the line. You see it there now. Yeah.
Now, what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
And as we draw to a close of the Reaper's Harvest Amish Lentbreakers episode, I'm reminded that there was a card for the show, the player character person card, where I ask you to meditate on those thoughts at the front of the show. Here's a little piece of that now. Let's see what you come up with in the replay comments for the +5 on the next stream savings throws, and who knows when that's going to be. There's a lot more activity over on the Substack, like the Reiki Foundation grant application, so check with me there if you're missing the live streams. The link should be somewhere on the page somewhere, much like the links to the shirts you can find at the agency store. Stop it. Why are they not there? You turned them on. You didn't turn them on. Oh, what a fail. All right, we won't sell the shirts, but this is probably the last time you'll see this old rag. Anyway, okay, where are we at? Oh, yes. Person, character, player, character, and person as separate entities, because I remembered oft of the quote I did steal from our good Viveki: the content of the character determines the access to the levels of consciousness, or I don't know. It's a quote. That's not it, but it's close. The content of your character determines the levels of consciousness you get access to. Content and character and person and players. Is the character of a person revealed as he plays the game? Is that why it's better to how you play the game? Is it the content of a character that matters to a person? And what's the difference between a person and the content of their character? Have an extra saint, the 5 of clubs. What do you think about this? Like the difference between player and character and person, and just whether you're I don't know. There. There's something to think about until you see us again. Thank you all for making us feel virtually not. Hey, Boelling. Afriel says it's a gallon of player character person. Good galloning. Hey, good timing right at the end there again, Hezzy. Good to see you, though. Good to see you, though. All right, everybody. That's all I have today. Thank you for the Reaper's Harvest. Remember, the quality of the Reaper's Harvest show is on your ass. No, it's all right. The presentation, I need to work. Whatever.
Remember, everybody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
May they continue to do so, folks. May they continue to do so.